Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Can you believe it? It's been a fast-paced 2022. We at BAKERpedia thanks you for being part of our learning community. And today I would like to share our numbers with you, mainly because I want you to see what we've experienced this year and to share the wisdom of what is popular and what's the leading trends for next year. All right. So let me share my screen. Our team has been working hard to get those numbers for you. So here it is. Our year in numbers. Today, I'm going to share about what's happening in the Baker Academy, what we've done for our Baker papers and our Baker Views, which are our seminars, and how many podcast listens it's been with our following on our digital media platforms. All right, let's get going. On our website, we average about 99,000 users per month, and we had over 2.2 million views last year itself. And that means that for all the people that typed in any kind of baking terms in terms of industrial, commercial, wholesale baking, they get to come to BAKERpedia, right? So how do we know they are relevant? Because they spend 5 minutes on each page, 5 average minutes, all right? So that's quite a bit. I mean, why would you read our page for 5 minutes if you don't think it's relevant? All right, so what pages get read on BAKERpedia the most? All right, number 1, bread processing, okay? Bread processing is really important because there's hardly any information out there on baking bread on a high-speed line, right? I mean, home baking information-wise is tons of content being written on home bakers blogs, right? Mixing, baking, proofing at home, that's easy, right? Easier, not easy, but easier to write about. But when it comes down to mixing for proper development, water absorption using analytical instrumentation, proofing, the right proofing times and temperature, basically baking using thermal profiling and cooling for extension of shelf life. Those things are so difficult to find on the internet, but you can definitely find it here at BAKERpedia, right? So 240,000 minutes read on bread processing. So that's a lot of engagement and that's a lot of attention, right? Number 2, fermentation. Okay, so this is really important because bakers need to know, why is fermentation so important to bread processing, right? So I made a couple of videos on this, and recently I believe we had LaSaff help lead a webinar on fermentation. And when you ferment a dough, it's just not for the volume, which a lot of bakers have been traditionally taught that yeast equals to volume, right? But they haven't been taught that yeast equals to enzyme, conditioning, volume, flavor, texturizing, right? So yeast gives a lot of those properties. Therefore, the longer you ferment, the more properties you get from that part of yeast fermentation, right? So a lot of bakers are just figuring these out and really understanding that the longer you give it a fermentation process in terms of either like an autolyse or a bulk ferment, or a sponge and dough, the longer you do that, the better the dough processes and the less dough conditioners you use, and the less tearing the dough is going to experience on your high-speed line. Okay, so 140,000 minutes read on fermentation. So it's kind of significant if you don't already know, right? The third most read topic is dough mixing. Why is this important? Because as we get into our community of discussing these issues on Facebook, we have a huge community. We have over 2,000 engaged members on Facebook that contribute over 30 posts every day. Okay. We talk about dough mixing quite a bit because a lot of people don't understand dough mixing. And even though you're a traditional baker, you're like, oh, they should know all that stuff. That should be the number one thing being taught to them. A lot of people don't know that, and it's kind of sad and disappointing because they're not taught. Honestly, there's nothing out there teaching commercial industrial bakers how to mix properly, right? So they come to us first and we teach them. You really need to understand your water absorption. Number one key thing is water absorption. Get your water absorption correct, and then mix optimally till you get that window pane, right? So we address a lot of this issues on our dough mixing page, and that's why over 123,000 minutes being read on that page. All right, so this is significant. The fourth highly viewed page on BAKERpedia is on pastry. Can you believe it? Pastry, folks. Pie, croissant, a flaky pastry, Danish pastries. Those are so hard to process, right? You need to get the temperature correct. You need to get the right kind of flour. You need the right kind of lamination, right? So over 100,000 minutes read last year. And this is so important, folks, because these are the things that you need to understand what's going on in the industry, okay? In terms of our digital content and community, we have over 58,000 social media followers on all platforms, stated here. Okay, in the last year alone, we have 6,400 hours watched on our Baker TV. Yes, we have live streams every day, and we have tons of interviews, and bakers are just soaking up this information. All right, we have over 3,900 podcast episodes played. So I have to thank Mark Florka for this, because he has been leading the charge on our podcasts. And boy, does he have fun, right? So I really enjoy the passion and the interviews, and it's all being showcased in this number right here, 3,900 episodes listened. That's a lot. Great job, Mark. All right. And we created a community probably a year and a half ago. And this baking industry professionals are on Facebook and LinkedIn. And we have accumulated over 4,400 bakers as a whole. So we are culturing these bakers to ask the right questions, to be engaged in the community, and they are really, really doing it. Okay. As for IBIE this year, we were really, really impressed by the numbers. Honestly, I was going into IBIE not expecting much, but coming out of it, wow, there were a lot of people there. And because of that, we had over 10,000 views of our IBIE content. We did, as a group of our baker-ins, we had Sophia Pye, we had Dr. Jane Bach, we had Mark Florka, and we have myself. Like, we held over 26 live streams on the show floor within the 4 days. So we really hit it hard, and we really tried to get as many people on the camera as we can. And we did it. 26 live streams. So awesome. So awesome. All right. And we had 4 roundtable talks. It was probably one at the end of every day. And we went through the discussion of what we saw and what was popular, you know, so that was awesome too. And of course, our networking party that was sponsored by ASB. And we had a great turnout. We had folks just sit down and chill out and just, you know, thank God it was the end of IBIE, because a lot of them were on their feet all day, right? So they were really, really happy about that. Hey, so what's been going on in our academy? Just a lot. All right. This is kind of, you know, eye-opening, but we had over 8,800 courses taken on the academy. So yeah, I don't know where people are from, but apparently the courses are very popular. All right. We did launch 18 new Baker papers last year. These are white papers on different topics. So if you haven't taken a look at these, please do. They're all free to download. And we have 17 live seminars. So our sponsors are really active this year on hitting the seminars. Okay. Lots of good content on our academy, folks. Just go on. It's free. Just log in, watch, download. All right. Okay. So you might be interested in wondering, what is the most popular topic on the Baker Academy? All right. So we highlighted the top 3 most viewed topics. And number 1 is high protein webinar sponsored by Arla Food Ingredients. And we went into Arla's lab and we saw how their technical experts use whey proteins and whey protein concentrates in their baking formulas to pump up the protein. Okay, high protein is really, really important these days. And you can do it with whey products. The second highly viewed webinar is the artisan bread production. And this was sponsored by Benexia. And we used the Benexia chia flour to produce artisan bread and to give it a really healthy, wholesome look to it. All right. And if you're interested in this product, please reach out to Benexia. We have their information posted all over our website. Okay. Chia flour is going to be one of the hottest items in 2023. All right. So the third topic that was really well attended was the objective bread analysis. Oh no, this is a paper. So it is a paper sponsored by Caliber Control. It really surprises me because obviously people want to know how to analyze bread, right? So one of the things that I've always encouraged people to do is not to poke, squeeze, or look at bread, but to objectively characterize it with the laser technology that's being offered by Caliber Controls and their C-cell instrumentation. You would be able to objectively characterize the breadcrumb, all right? Not look at it and say, yeah, good, not good, all right? That's not scientific or not quantitative, right? You really don't need to be scientific on analyzing bread, but you really need to be quantitative, at least be objective and make sure that comparisons are consistent across the board. And you can only get there through instrumentation. And in our paper, we talk about C-cell and how it can do that for you. Okay, so last but not least, I want to thank these companies for sponsoring BAKERpedia. As you know, our team does this. We bring this information to you for free, okay? And it's free because all these wonderful sponsors provide the resources for you to do so, okay? They provide the money that we pay our researchers, the money for our content producers and editors to publish the website, to bring this academy to you for free. They pay for the platform so that you can enjoy all these for free. Okay? So I'm going to take the next minute to thank all these people. So bear with me because they really deserve the accolade. All right, so our sponsors this year and our content were brought to you by Lalaman Baking, IBIE, J&K Ingredients, KPM Analytics, ASR Group that brings you Domino Sugar, NGP Ingredients, Ashworth, Chopin, which is part of KPM, AB Mori, Benexia, Bake Watch by ECD, Grain Millers, Holton Food Products, PGP International, Wecker Ingredients, Dawn Foods, Arla Foods Ingredients, Caliber Controls, which brings you C-Cell, Top Taste Onions, Texture Technologies, Lasaf, Corbion, Vantage Food, Erex, Enzyme Innovation, Youngbunslower, Manildra Group, Cargill, Heartland's Mill, Parados, Fritsch, Zoom Essence, Arden Mills, and Solange's Mills. So thank you, sponsors. Without you, we wouldn't have 2.2 million pages read. So I look forward to similar sponsorships from you and to cultivating a really caring baking community in 2023. Thank you, folks. I'll see you soon. Happy New Year.